This is St Mary's Street, which as you can see is just off the Royal Mile. We're about to walk in a building which is attached to the World's End pub, which was involved in some famous murders among other things. It actually symbolises where the city gates once ended when everyone was basically trapped in during the time of sieges. We're about to walk into the Waverley, which is a specialised Scotch bar, as in whiskey bar. It's also a pub in its own way. It's got lager or ale on tap, but it specialises in whiskey. Now, those of us around the world debate this till we're blue in the face. I would swear blind that Scotch is the best whiskey, hands down, that no one can compete with Scotch. Some people say there's some good stuff coming out of Japan, but I'm not one of them people that patronises the whole bourbon argument. Don't come to me and say bourbon is as good as Scotch, because we're not going to agree, okay? So let's go in and have a look. I mean, obviously it looks like a pub, but the first thing you'll notice is it's majority Scotch. And the glasses, now usually you get Glencairn glasses, or what look like small wine glasses to drink Scotch out of. And you'll notice that they will be hanging around as opposed to the old style of wine glass that you get in most pubs hanging from the bar. Come with me. There we go. And as I was saying, this is what Scotch or whiskey should be drank out of. A lot of people like to use Glencairn glasses, which look like hips with a waist, but this is just as good because it allows you to warm the drink and give it a good swish. So this is what we're trying today, suggested by the charming barman. Now, usually when I'm talking about bars, I'm complaining because our modern concept of bars are very modernistic, colourful, tacky. But if we're talking about a whiskey bar, then this is absolutely stunning. Look at this beautiful fireplace, and have a moment to just spin around for me, please, cameraman. And you'll see obviously the little section there where they have their comedy nights and so on. But you'll see the strange tables. It's not quite a pub, but I would love for many pubs to look like this. How many pubs are there out there that are absolutely awful that don't look like this? These beautiful leather-bound corner seats, these lovely, absolutely lovely, characterful tables, and the cages on the stairs on the way up here. There was loads of Scotch locked into the cages, which I found absolutely charming. Even the little details in the ceiling. So even if this is the sort of place which gets a lot of reviews from the same places that we would consider quite yuppie, it's still done everything in its power to preserve the wonderment of what a whiskey bar should be. So I think I've rambled enough and we've observed the place enough. I can actually sit down and try this Scotch, which is what it actually is. It's Scotch, not just whiskey, Scotch. It's Scotch whiskey if it's made in Scotland, but there are some Scotch whiskey distilleries in places like Canada and so on, which has started to spread the debate as to whether Scotch can be made elsewhere. This is a tough series, I'm not going to lie. This is a very difficult series to make. Really has me doing all sorts of long, arduous work. So I asked the barman, honestly, I said, listen mate, I'm in your hands. I'm not going to come in here and tell you how to do your job. I love Scotch, so help me out here. And he handed me Glenleash. And I think I'm pronouncing that okay. If I butchered the pronunciation, feel free to pick on me and try and correct me, but good luck doing so when all you can do is right. And remember, when you are drinking whiskey, you're letting tiny bits dissolve on your tongue. You're not swigging it back, wasting the whiskey, burning yourself and not enjoying the experience. So if I was ever going to talk about whiskey, being in Scotland, being in Edinburgh, the home of Scotch is certainly the place to do it. So thank you very much to all of you that love whiskey, and I'll see you soon. Oh, and to the Scotch for giving us the best whiskey on earth, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. If anyone else wants to say otherwise in the comments, do so, but you're wrong. I'm letting you know ahead of time. Anyway, think for yourself. I'll see you soon.